Truman Capote. Truman, a Stratford person, was born in New Orleans on September 13, 1924. Better known as Truman Capote, he was a journalist and writer, mostly known for his works, Breakfast and Tiffany's, published in 1958, and In Cold Blood, published in 1986, which will be the subject to our next analysis. I am alcoholic, I am a junkie, I am gay, I am a genius. Truman Capote. In a fight between his parents spent much of his childhood in Alabama, along with four brothers. His passion for literature and gossip will be born there.
Would find their grand finale of his novel answered prayers. He started writing when he was 8 years old and suddenly without any examples to inspire him. I know no one who already wrote few people who read it, but he was only interested in four things: reading books, watching movies, dancing, and drawing. After changing his last name to Capote, he began publishing his stories age 17 in so-called quality magazines and soon after started to work at The New Yorker in New York.
How you wrote in cold blood. In 1959, in a small Kansas town called Holcomb, the Clutter family were found dead. They had been bound and railed with strangers for no apparent motive. This spread paranoia in Kansas and attracted the attention of the entire country. Capote was sent there for the New Yorker. It was then that he realized he had found what he needed for his great work. What got him more curious was not the murder itself, but the effects on the people that caused each terrible event. He moved to Kansas after he got approval from his editor to starting investigation.
He has spent 6 years closely following the investigation and talking to the townspeople, who did not see him favorably by his extravagance, his personality, and his homosexuality. His style managed to find enough material to make the frame of the novel, where he mixes the townspeople's opinions, interviews with police officers in charge of the case, and close friends of the family. But Capote did not stop there. When the murders were caught, he went to interview the man and became friends with them. The work took years to publish because the book needed to end with the execution of the murders.
In Cold Blood is a novel image of investigative journalism. It's the story of a crime thriller written with overflowing with vitality. Using the techniques he had learned as a screenwriter, the author introduces the main character with short dynamic accents. With his literary and journalistic knowledge, he was the first to demonstrate that you could make a work that mixed news reporting with narration. This narrative is the creation of a new literary genre, narrative nonfiction. He wrote the book as if it were a novel, but instead of taking the characters and situations from his imagination, he took them from real life.
The book begins with a description of the town in which the crime was committed. The author reconstructs the day before the tragic events and the life of her people who were killed. They were a very respectable family of farmers in the town, hard worker, friendly, always willing to help everyone, very religious. The whole town was shocked at the news. There was no apparent motive for this terrible crime that killed four people: Herbert, Bonnie, Nancy, and Kenyon Clowder. The whole country knew that happened. Hundreds of reporters, journalists invaded the town, breaking the tranquility that had always surrounded. Police in Kansas and other states were devoted to the investigation of this case characteristic. See meta mystery, not because of the lack of evidence, much for the unexpected and absurd nature of the slaughter.
Capote is telling the life of the murders. At the same time, the police are making preparations in Hong Kong to go in search of the safe, which had not even been proven to exist. The crime would have been almost perfect not for a prisoner who had been a soulmate of Dick, the mastermind behind the crime. The prisoner had told him that there was every rich family of farmers in Kansas. From there, Dick became interested as burned the housing details, the layout of the rooms, in they were safe, making the mistake of stealing another inmate that when going out to go for a blow to the farm cutler, talking with him another prisoner who had no Perry, using Kay, who had winches, gave removed them. This prisoner was they kept to follow the police contract these two characters, and most certainly were the preparators.
Police continued investigating and making inquiries with the information they already had. The prisoner, Dick's family, Sister Perry, and in collaboration with the police of the other states, achieved arrest in Las Vegas. The two murderers had confessed his crime, telling step by step as they had planned it where they had hidden some tests as they had done. They reached the house as had been found, safe and gunned after beating to each victim in a room and had given them a headshot. The prisoners are sentenced to death, and after several years with subsequent appeals by prisoners claiming they did not have a fair trial, that the witnesses who were the people and even the hotget had been friends or had known the family were executed.
This work is a perfect and magnificent combination of using the technique of literary journalism. In cold blood, they take the reader to the darkest recesses of personality, showing the limits or pits that led an individual to forget their humanity and become a beast.
At some point, the author tries to justify this attitude. It is dedicated to tell how sad it was the life of the murders and showing her town childhood, complex, lack of senses of values, then even become more familiar with them, causing people to feel sorry to test to unhappy, victim of an injured society.
What really stands out in this work is how, from a police and journalistic fact, Capote novel achieved a radiograph showing a complete society.